Welcome to On the Square with Councilmember Kurt Johnson. We're going to have a show today to talk about things within the city. But the reason why I'm starting this show is to let you know all of the great things we have within the city and the great leaders that are leading organizations that benefit the city of Grand Prairie. And for my first guest today, we have Angela Lucky with the NAACP. Welcome, Angela, to On the Square with Councilmember Kurt Johnson.
Thank you, Councilman Johnson. And I am just so excited to be on the square with Councilman Kurt Johnson. Thank you for having me on your show this morning.
Well, thank you for coming out this morning. I'd like to get to know a little bit about you so our audience get to know who is Angela Lucky.
Oh, wow. Okay. Angela Lucky, who am I? I tell you, I'm a person that loved Grand Prairie. I grew up in Grand Prairie. Grand Prairie is my home. I wear many hats, many top hats. Currently, I'm serving as the president for Grand Prairie NAACP. And I'm also the president for the Grand Prairie South Dalworth Historical Society. And then I also serve on our wonderful and our great Grand Prairie Parks and Recreation Board for the city of Grand Prairie.
That's great. So, Angela, what's the best compliment someone has ever given you?
Wow. I think one of the best compliments that I have received from people is that I have a heart of passion. I'm passionate about community service, that when I set my mind to something, when I put my heart in it, I'm able to capture that particular ideology or that idea or whatever that I'm passionate about doing. But I think the great compliment is receiving that I do a good job at whatever it is that I'm doing with community service work, and especially here in the city of Grand Prairie.
Since I've known you, I've always known you as a servant leader, and I appreciate your leadership within the city and the things that you've done. And I look forward to continue that relationship that we have working with each other.
Thank you.
Is there a humorous story you'd like to tell that your family has said about you that you'd like to share with the audience?
Oh, wow. Many. I guess the most thing that's probably humorous that probably just bring laughter to me is that I stay up late. I really stay up late working on projects or just like reflecting back on a project that I'm passionate about here in the city of Grand Prairie. And sometimes I tend to fall asleep in my chair on the sofa at home, and I tend to snore. And I don't hear myself snoring, but sometimes they record me snoring. And to hear that sound, it's like it's just really a crazy sound. So that's when they really get me, because they'll play the recording of me snoring.
All right. I know you're an avid researcher. You know, you look up topics. You spend a lot of hours at the Better Warmack Library researching things, and the things that you find have always been amazing to me, because I love to have that skill set where I can go out and research things, because you get down to the history, and like we always say, you bring the receipts whatever you do. So, to learn a little bit more about you, where do you like to go out to eat in Grand Prairie or outside the city?
Well, I have a lot of favorite restaurants here in Grand Prairie where I actually go out to eat. I patronize Roman's Italian Bistro that's downtown Grand Prairie. I mean, they have the best Italian food. And I also love our Olive Garden in Grand Prairie. I eat there almost regularly, eat there almost every day. And Papado's is one of my favorite restaurants. Ella B's over in Arlington is my favorite. Sweet Georgia Brown. And when I'm traveling a lot, I love to go to Trick Daddy Restaurant up in Miami. Okay. Great food.
Trick Daddy Restaurant, you know, that's an old school rapper that most people don't even realize who Trick Daddy is.
Yes.
So I'd like to move on to tell us about the Grand Prairie NAACP and what does the organization do for the community?
You know, the Grand Prairie NAACP, it is the oldest civil rights organization in the United States of America, and it was founded by a group of diverse individuals that founded the NAACP. Some people misconception think that the NAACP was founded only by African Americans, which is a false statement, because we know that our history, our founding members was a mixture, Caucasian, African Americans. It was a diverse group that founded the NAACP, and so based upon our mission, our principles, right here in Grand Prairie, we do a lot in our organization. It could be involving with housing issues, economic development, education, making sure that our students are prepared financially or just with a trade that get them prepared to go to college. We do have some students that does not want to attend college. So we're big about trying to find trade programs to make sure that those children that don't want to attend college have that opportunity to even go get a trade or go to trade school either in Grand Prairie or outside of Grand Prairie.
One of the programs at the national level that I've always enjoyed going to is watch the Act So program. We'd like to talk more about that.
Yeah, our AXO program, Grand Prairie, we have partnered like with Dallas AXO or Garland Chapter AXO or the Arlington AXO. A lot of our Dubisky Career High School students are our students that's in the Arts Academy here in Grand Prairie. A lot of them, they partner and they go to Arlington AXO or they'll go to Dallas AXO. And AXO is one of the programs that we're able to push the talent, allow the students to push the talents that they actually have, to be able to showcase their talents at our National Convention Center. And it ranged from art, theater art, poetry, but a lot of talent comes out of Grand Prairie where these students actually receive top scholarship dollars from the NAACP.
That's great. If you had unlimited funds to grow the Grand Prairie NAACP, what would you do with it?
If I had unlimited budget to grow the NAACP, I first would find organizations and companies and foundations like T. Boone Pickens Foundations or like Ross Perot. I would reach out to some of those organizations to see if we can get them to come to Grand Prairie to invest into our students, our children, as far as like setting up some type of trade program that would better prepare them for real life situations and to be able to embrace diversity. I think that we have a lot of people that don't know or choose not to socialize with people only because they don't know people. They don't get the chance to really know what that person is about. And I think that if the NAACP, if we did have unlimited funds, we would be able to really be able to bring to light all the wonderful programs that the organization have. And then that way people get to see, hey, NAACP is just not about the justice part, the social justice part, or about the activist part, but there are other entities that we have, even with preserving the African American history of Grand Prairie, that have been something that has been passionate in my role with the NAACP as the president and also as the president for South Dalworth Historical Society, making sure that our African American veterans that served our country honorably, World War I, World War II, Vietnam vets that are actually buried here in the oldest African American cemetery, just making sure that history is captured, and that history is captured the right way here in Grand Prairie.
Okay. I'd like to go into, if you had an opportunity to expand the organization and to reach out to people that doesn't know anything about the NAACP, what would you do?
I think one of the expansions that we can actually work on, I think that, like being able to come on the square with Councilman Kurt Johnson, I think this give us a vehicle to be able to let people know about what the NAACP is about and a lot of our wonderful activities that we have, even the scholarship prep for essay and for taking the ACT test. We do a lot of preparations and we set up workshops to be able to prepare the kids to get high scores by bringing in school teachers or retired teachers to be able to mentor them. But just being able to have avenue and resources that will be able to allow us to be able to use our platforms to where we can actually get our information out.
All right. Are there any other organizations that you're involved with in Grand Prairie that residents can volunteer to help out in?
Oh, most definitely. We are always looking for volunteers with the Grand Prairie South Dalworth Historical Society. And one component of that is that we're encouraging our residents of Grand Prairie to take the DNA ancestry test to find out more about your heritage. Just recently, one of our retired police officers, Officer Christopher Moore, that retired last week, I learned that him and my mother are biological cousins, and they're really close cousins, like around by second, third cousins. And my mother have lived here around 74 years, and we did not know that she had those type of close relatives living right here in her backyard of Grand Prairie. So just being able to take your DNA ancestry and just learning about that, I encourage people to get involved with that. And also with law enforcement, I am a big supporter of law enforcement. I've attended all the academies, the FBI Citizen Academy. I graduated from the DEA Citizen Academy, ATF Citizen Academy, and our great Grand Prairie Police Citizen Academy. So just, encouraging people to get involved and support our local law enforcement officers.
Well, Angela, you're a busy woman. I'm
I
surprised
am.
to see all the things that you do and get accomplished within the city. How can someone reach you or your organization to get involved?
To learn more about the NAACP and to learn more about what Grand Prairie NAACP is doing, you can go to www.naacp.org, and you can find your Grand Prairie local chapter, and on there you can go to our calendar events and learn about what Grand Prairie NAACP is doing. And you can reach the Grand Prairie NAACP. You can call 469-644-8209. And you guys, you can find us on our Facebook. We have a Grand Prairie NAACP Facebook page, and you can keep up with all the wonderful things that we're doing here in Grand Prairie.
All right, Angela, are there any last comments you'd like to make so people can know anything about you or the organizations or any upcoming events?
I would just like to say that the NAACP is made up of all volunteers. We have no one that is paid. I'm a volunteer, and we encourage people to get involved, not only with the NAACP, but on our boards and our commissions. I just think that volunteer should be a part of everybody checklist, where I'm going to volunteer today. So I just encourage the citizens of Grand Prairie, to find your niche and to find an organization that you're willing to volunteer.
Well, thank you, Angela Lucky, for coming out this morning and sharing your information for Grand Prairie residents. With that being said, Angela Lucky is standing on her square with Councilmember Kurt Johnson, and I'd like for you to come out and share your information. We'll be right back.
The City of Grand Prairie offers Alert GP, a high-speed communication service for emergency notifications. Receive alerts from the Grand Prairie Emergency Management Team by going to the city's website and following the sign-up instructions. Alert GP can notify a lot of people in a short time. It targets the entire city or specific areas where critical community alerts are necessary. If we can't reach you, we can't alert you. Visit gptx.org/alertgp and sign up today.
Welcome back to On the Square with Councilmember Kurt Johnson. And now we have our second guest, Dr. Dandrin Gray. Welcome to the show, Dandrin.
Well, thank you, Councilman Kurt Johnson. I appreciate the opportunity to be here this morning with you.
Okay, with your most recent accomplishment of achieving your PhD, what does the future look like for Dr. Dandrin Gray?
Wow, great question. I would like to say that the future for me was not anything that I had originally planned on. I believe that my work in my ministry with the organization, mentorship, it was something that was bestowed upon me, and I had to receive it. And when that happened, I looked back over the experiences and the adversities that I experienced running and facilitating the organization. And so for me now, I want to put forth my greatest effort in what I've already done in the past and know that my work has not been unseen. And I look forward to just accrediting what I've done to be more of an influence in my community, in the world, globally with the organization to take it to the next level personally.
That's good to hear. Dr. Gray, tell us what's the day like for Dr. Gray, from being a mother, an entrepreneur, running a nonprofit organization. What's a daily routine like for you?
A daily routine for me is just the simple old mom wearing all the hats. I'm Dandrin. I struggled. A lot of people, I'm just that old down home girl from Memphis, Tennessee, moved to Texas. I raised 3 children. I'm on my last one, 16. Getting up in the morning, taking him to school, praying for him, making sure that everything that I can do is to be the best mother that I can be to him and my other two children, but at the same time finding ways within my day that I can be an impact to my community and to others that are looking to me to be the person that I've been created to be. It's not easy, and sometimes I'm very hard on myself in doing that, but overall I know that my purpose in life is something that I've had to accept and walk in that.
Dr. Gray, we've been working together in the community for a very long time. And when we were in the NAACP, I was the president and you were the secretary, we had nicknames for each other. And I called you Dee Dee, and you called me
Gordo.
And most people don't realize
Yes.
who we are referring to when we holler out Gordo and Dee Dee. They're looking around, like, they don't know that's our little personal joke that we have with.
That is
with each other.
correct. That is correct. I remember when you got elected, I'm sitting back, I was cheering you on. I'm like, there's Gordo. And they're looking at me like, who is Gordo? So, yes.
Okay, what would be a perfect day be like for you? Just if you had your perfect day to do anything you would like to do.
My perfect day would probably be waking up, thanking God that I'm waking up in my right mind. I've always, through things in life, just giving my peace of mind no matter what. So waking up with that, making sure my children were good, and also being able to look around or turn on a television or open up my computer and see that Helping Us Help Her was a global organization that was impacting lives across this world with empowerment and the things that I feel that every young person should be instilled with and the support that they need to have. So that would be a day for me that I could reflect back on. Everything I've done has not been in vain, and to be able to just enjoy myself maybe with a glass of wine or a glass of champagne and kick my feet up and say thank you.
Okay. If you had one piece of advice to give to someone to start a nonprofit, what would you tell them?
Oh, wow. Great question. Oh, wow. A nonprofit that I've learned over the course of 12 years, the word nonprofit, so many people have their own perceptions of what a nonprofit does, their gains, their losses, and what a nonprofit does. To find as much research, the truth about what a nonprofit is, what it can and cannot do, and to build a team around you that can help you grow your organization to what your vision and your mission would be. I would definitely tell someone that wanted to start a nonprofit to build their team definitely on those that will help elevate their mission.
Most nonprofits have difficulty raising funds to operate and to move forward to meet the mission. What avenue would you like to explore to raise funds for your organization?
Some of the avenues that I would like to venture more into is something that I've learned over the course of 12 years is to be a certified minority in running my organization. It opens up many doors for you to be able to apply for different grants and funding that's out there. So getting certifications for myself to be able to apply the organization to receive some of those funds. I would definitely say that raising funds for the organization would be something that would put us in an advantage. So the struggles that we've had to grow the organization, to do the things operational things would not be of a difficult situation for us.
Okay. If you had unlimited funds for her, Helping Us Help Her, what would you do with it?
I would invest those funds into the organization to where it would not just be a one room or one office organization. I would like to implant Helping Us Help Her with the curriculum that is being done currently, Choices Beyond Reality, to be all over in school districts, after school programs, being able to be facilitated by the young ladies that have come through our program that have invested their time in volunteering now to go back and facilitate. I would want the funds to help provide salaries and other opportunities to give other young ladies the opportunities that they wouldn't have had before, And I would like for our organization to be able to provide more scholarships, explore the world, travel, and provide resources, counseling, and therapy with young ladies that they wouldn't have to be charged for.
Okay. Are there any upcoming events that HUD is putting on this year, or that's going to be within the next few months, or your annual banquet that you host?
Yes, this year we are having our teen dating and domestic violence event, which is in February. We have had that virtually for the past 2 years due to COVID, but we typically partner with the Grand Prairie Police Department, and we have that at their facilities. We've actually had it at several facilities throughout Grand Prairie, and so we are having that event. We will be in person this year in February. And we also have our scholarship walkathon, again, that we provide scholarships. We provided over $30,000 scholarships over the 12 years that we've been in existence, and that is here in the Mike Lewis Park in Grand Prairie as well. And then we have a retreat that we have, which is a back to school retreat that we're having at the end of July this year. And then ultimately, we typically have our gala or our uplift, and in the previous years we've had it at the Ruth E. Jackson Center here in Grand Prairie, where we bring our council people, our mayor, school district leaders, and our supporters and donors to come in and show our appreciation. So that will be taking place at the end of this year, and we are getting back on schedule with all of our activities that we've had to either go virtual or postpone due to COVID. So
Okay. Well, that's a lot of activities you have planned to help out your organization. But so, how do you plan on expanding the organization to people you haven't reached?
my plan for the organization was to continue to build and grow myself personally and develop with coaching so that I can be a better individual to have the vision and the mission of the organization to move forward. Sometimes you feel that you're stagnant and you have to elevate yourself into another level. And so for me now, what I'm wanting to do is to have our curriculum to be implanted in so many areas, which is Choices Beyond Reality, not only for our girls, but we're now embarking into having that program for our young men as well. So the HUD Army, which will be for the males, will be coming very, very soon. And so that is something that I'm really, really interested in seeing how that is received.
So I have to ask the question.
Yes.
Would helping us help her, would it also be helping us help him?
That is correct. That is correct. So HUD in the HUD Army. So the male side would be the HUD Army.
Okay. How can someone get involved or reach you to get involved with your organization?
You can reach us by going to HUD.org, which is HUHH.org. HUD is the acronym for Helping Us Help Her. You also can reach us on our Facebook page, our Instagram page, and you can also give us a call at 972-639-3096. We are located, our building here in the city of Grand Prairie, but we look forward to having conversations and phone calls and meetings with anyone that's interested in volunteering or becoming a part of our board or advisory team.
Okay. Are there any last minute comments you'd like to share with us today?
I would like to say thank you for having me on your show. I'm so excited of what's to come with On the Square with Councilman Johnson. And I would also like to say, when starting something, don't be so hard on yourself. Just step out on faith, put one foot in front of the other, and just keep moving. Don't look back.
Thank you, Dr. Gray, for coming out to share information regarding HUD. And I look forward to working with you this year and many years to come. Thank you all for watching On the Square with Councilmember Kurt Johnson.